And by the way, calls to 988 overall are up, I think, over 20% this year.
The Trump administration is literally taking away the option for the LGBTQIA plus community on the suicide prevention hotline. So a few years ago, Congressman Seth Moulton from Massachusetts authored a bill that established a suicide prevention line, 988. So in case you don't know, 988 is the number you can dial if you're in a mental health crisis and thinking about or having suicidal ideations. If you're a vet, you can press number 1 when you dial and put you in contact with somebody who understands you, who is a veteran. If you speak Spanish, you press number 2. If you are a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, you press number 3 because it will put you in touch with somebody who understands and empathizes with your situation. Well, the Trump administration is taking away that option. I sat down with Congressman Seth Moulton, who authored this bill 3 years ago, and had a conversation about this. And you're saying that as of today, that option goes away?
That's right. Deleted by the Trump administration. They just don't seem to care about all these kids who have not just been getting help, but actually literally having their lives saved by this line. 69,057. Every single one of those kids important. That's how many calls this option got in May.
In just May, 69,000.
In just May. It's incredible. It's helping people who really need help. It's saving money. I mean, I'm sorry, this is not reforming government to let kids die, but that's what this administration is doing.
What is the justification, and I feel like I know the answer, but what is the justification for dropping the option for the LGBTQI plus community?
Yeah, well, they say that they don't have enough people to staff the line, but that's because they keep cutting people from Health and Human Services. This is because of Doge and Elon Musk that they don't have enough people to staff the line. Obviously, what's really happening here is this is just another ideological crusade by the Trump administration to hate on the LGBTQ community.
Which is what I would assume the answer would be. How can we fight back? Is there something that you and your colleagues are doing to fight back? What's the answer to blatantly allowing people to die? Because let's be clear, taking away the suicide prevention line from a community that has a higher rate of suicide is letting people die.
Yes, that's right. Look, I co-authored the bill to establish 988 3 years ago, and I'm going to fight to keep this service alive and working for everybody who needs help. And I'm proud to actually have found a Republican to work with me. It's hard to do anything in a bipartisan way in Congress these days, but that's how we will save this, is to get more people signed on. So what you can do is call your senator or congressman and let them know this is important. We've got to save this. We've got to help these kids.
I agree. Now, you co-authored this bill 3 years ago. It was a bipartisan bill. 3 years ago and today, getting bipartisanship are two different conversations. But I feel like this should be an issue that we could get people to agree on. What are your thoughts?
We should care about kids. I mean, kids should not be a political issue. Keeping kids alive should not be partisan. It's just the right thing to do for our country. And at the end of the day, that's what you should expect your members of Congress and senators to do when they come to Washington to represent you.
So, Congressman, to be clear, 988 can be used by anyone, children, adults alike.
That's right. And over 13 million Americans have used it since we established it 3 years ago. So an extraordinary number of people are getting their lives saved in a moment of crisis. I tell you, as a veteran, I've heard from so many fellow veterans who say it makes such a difference to be able to call this line, to know by heart. You just dial 988 and you can press 1 and speak directly to someone who understands vets. Well, LGBTQ people need that too. They want to be able to press 3 and speak to someone who can relate to them, who understands their particular needs.
That safe space that allows you to really get it out there. Now,
they speak that language. Just like, by the way, people are like, okay, wait, 1 for veterans, 3 for LGBTQ plus. What is 2? 2 is if you speak Spanish, right? And that's the point. You need to be able to talk to someone who can speak your language. And the Trump administration is taking that away from a lot of people, including a lot of kids in America today.
Okay. Last thing, Congressman. In this country, we know that mental health is a crisis, and there is no universal health care option. And the Trump administration's making it even more difficult to get access to health care by cutting Medicaid. So 988 is at least a bandage over the bleeding of a mental health crisis, and now it seems they want to rip the bandage off.
That's right. And by the way, calls to 988 overall are up, I think, over 20% this year. So, yes, this is a crisis that's getting worse under this administration. Americans need help, and it shouldn't be a partisan issue to help people in need.
I very much agree with you, Congressman. I will say that I think 988 was a great idea. Thank you for pushing that, for co-authoring that. I want to stay in touch with you as we move forward, and as this develops, and if there's any changes, please come back and speak with us.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.